Going opposites attract. Why is it that there are two three-letter agencies within the United States?
Another question you're asking. Look, at the root of it, was it 19 hijackers were Muslim that hijacked there?
There were no 19 hijackers.
There were none. They did not exist.
I didn't say that. I said there were.
Okay, they did not. So, according to the Ludwig, 19 hijackers did not hijack airplanes. They did take down that one. They did take down that one plane over Pennsylvania that we had all the audio recordings of. That we were aware of who was hijacking at the time.
No.
Yeah.
Are you going to let me respond? Are you going to let me respond?
I'm the one that's oppressing you now. Very victimizing. You're victimizing yourself. You already said you deny that. So who hijacked the airplane?
Let me respond or not?
Yeah, sure. Who hijacked the airplane?
Okay. Why are there two three-letter agencies within the United States arguing whether it's 7 or 4 hijackers are still alive? You tell me that, buddy. If you're so educated regarding the whole event on 9/11, you're going to embarrass yourself. I'm going to smoke you.
Okay, I'm going to get started. Yeah.
You're willing.
All I said was more than 19 hijackers. In September, it's fucking July, bro.
Are you going to join us or no? Don't look like don't think this about this right now.
I'm joining your room 2 months from now. Do you hear? I don't know what I'm doing on there. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, just go ahead and show it. Wait 2 months. Yeah.
Where's the treaty on?
Why are you going to ask questions? Make your statement. Be assertive. Make your statement. Don't ask questions.
You don't have to repeat the question 2 to 3 times. Where is it in Freedom Flight 93? Show that.
Okay, again, you ask the question. Just be assertive. Assert what you're alleging.
Where is
I want you to just make a point. Like I made my point. 19 of the hijackers are, listen, love it. I made my point. 19 of the hijackers were Muslims. You don't, you deny that. That's okay. Assert your point rather than ask questions. This is just garbage. Trying to spin. I just want to move on. Yes, please.
By the way, repeat, this is white American. I don't think you're white. You're not white.
I'm a Mexican, and here's the problem, guys, is that we're taking over the United States of America. What they like to say is white. We consider ourselves white. The gringos are not willing to fight. The Mexicans are, so we're taking over. Viva la raza, white / brown power.
Literally, the illegal immigrants are there to invade America.
I'm an anchor baby, bitch. My mom was pregnant, backstroking across the Rio Grande. She was 9 months pregnant, and she dropped, and she waited, but she had enough discipline to drop me when she got up to the American side of the border. So I am American now. Brown fucking power.
Yeah, but you are literally saying, declaring that Latinos and Mexicans and those illegal immigrants are gonna take over America.
And the whites, is we love white people. We wish we could be white. We're actually propping up the whites because we love the whites so much. We look at the white people in Latin American countries all do really well. Us browns, sometimes we do well. So we're pushing them up, and so yeah, you dirty Indian. Okay, I don't know what kind of bullshit the gringos may be a little afraid to call you out as a dirty Indian. You filthy fucking cheat. Shut up.
She's like a cool bitch. He's a chica.
Okay, I understand that you're mad because you got a hemorrhoid from squeezing the last smelly curry cane shit out on the street in public, and people had to watch it. You're a disgusting motherfucker.
You gotta be dropped.
Filthy fucking Indian fashion.
Filthy fucking Mexican gangman, MS-13 gangman, my family is a piece of cartel bitch. At least you respect.
That's El Salvadorian, you stupid fuck. I'm not Mexican.
Mikhail.
Fuck you, you're gonna ruin America. Everybody gonna
No, you dirty fucking Indians are gonna ruin America. Fuck you.
Fucking ruin American freedom, bro. You fucking gangman, bro. fucking drug like dealer cartel and stuff.
Yeah, go ahead, go on back to coding. Go back to your coding job. Thank you very much.
Fucking went back, you fucking loser. Fucking piece of shit. They're building a wall. Literally a wall for your people, your shitty people. Trump is building a fucking wall to stop you, bro. You are unwanted in this country. Nobody wants
No,
you.
most of the immigrants that are coming here are not from Mexico anymore.
Really, bro, they put them in
No, they're putting up the walls to stop the South Americans and to stop the dirty, and you dirty cheats, you dirty chicks, and all of you filthy fucking people that are coming here.
I mean, the Marines in the American cities.
Tell me what is nice, tell me what is nice about you filthy fucking, tell me what is nice about you filthy fucking Indians.
Puta negro. Puta
Who's
negro.
a Negro? You're not even saying it correctly.
Let's pick the line, bro. ¿Cómo estás, amigo? Pick the line. ¿Cómo
Well,
estás?
it's not amigo, I'm just fine, how are you?
What language? You're giving your language shitty, bro. You don't have like
What is your language? Why do you look like this? Why do you look like motherfucking slippery motherfucker? Answer, you fucking bitch! You fucking fuck up! I squeeze really hard to take calorie stinky smell of shit! I squat in the middle of your street white mud! You do nothing! I take smelly curry shits in Western countries! They got smelly curry shits! That's all I got! I ain't one for cheap and in clothing centers! I also, your jobs are outsourced to me, the brown man from India! That's what I do! Dirty, smelly Indian budgets! We'll burn the roads!
cocaine, bro. Cocaine.
Cocaine is more fun than smelly curry shits! The Mexicans know how to party, but us cheats do not! Why can we not party like the Mexicans? We have ugly bitches! Why do we have ugly bitches and Latinas have big brothers Latinas? Why do they have big booty Latinas? And we have smelly, dirty, hairy women that smell like curry and poop.
America hates you, bro. America hates Mexico.
We hate you, people.
How many Mexicans do we hate? Mexico.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, fuck off. No, I know he wasn't. I was just fucking.
He had no friends either.
No, I know he was in trouble. This is crazy. He got the Indian accent down pretty good, so I had, I was like, oh fuck. This level of effort, I gotta go with it.
I think he was from the place with 3 Kings. He was from that. Sounded like that guy. What's his mark with Michael Jackson?
The Indians are like the nice casualty between. In the West, we have, our fights with regarding immigration, and then you have really, really well-mannered, educated, nice Indians, and then all of a sudden they're just like thrown into the cultural war, and we're just like calling them all cheats, and we're making fun of them and their accents, and they're like, oh my God, what did we do? Why do they do this to me? And which is kind of funny, and Indians are just funny because they sound so fucking funny. Like, we all made fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger, not because he wasn't like a white Aryan Chad, but, he just, he spoke English like in a really goofy way.
I had a friend that went on India a couple times, and he said it's the greatest fucking place ever. Like out of all the countries that he's been in, he said India was the worst.
Yeah, sitting in that tracks.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch about India, go look up on YouTube called Bald and Bankrupt. And he's kind of a street shooter. And he'll tell you about, look, more feces, the filthy fucking Indians. He's got some really good video.
There's this guy on X that his name was Barry Stanton or some shit like that. And he was like a young dude, but he had like this old guy's picture for his PTR. And he would just bitch about like he would troll like cheats all the time. And unfortunately his account got nuked. But he was
spot on. That's one thing. And the second thing is Donald Trump is the greatest president ever. I just want to say that, Jules.
I don't think so, but that's
I'm just talking about. Listen, Marshall, he's made. Marshall, he's a former tax guy. So, like, he's a tax nerd. I say that respectfully. I don't know nothing about taxes. He does. So, if he says he's pissed off over taxes, there's something there.
No, it's, well, yeah, okay. Well, I'm trying to think of something else. Everything he's done, even if I'm happy with it, the applause and I'm not happy.
Team that we upscale to like today, and he like has this luxury just to factor in AI into the situation, and it's really interesting to see how that all works out. You can see that there's kind of an inevitability that is in his head. He's like, yes, there's an inevitability to this, but there's also an element of surprise in that the expansion was actually a lot faster than you could have like projected in the past using the same logic, right? Things are happening a lot quicker than they once were. It's all the same.
It's like, you know, it's like breaking the exponential, like, you know, Moore's law kind of stuff. It's like, what happened in a year, 10 years ago is happening in like a week now. And yeah, there's a lot of like, there's a lot of catch up, and there's like also a lot of just new novelty that like we'll have to learn how to cope with. Almost like, I don't know, it's like some people like freak out a little bit of like the fun stuff. Like, I mean, like there's always an opportunity that you can like, you know, 10x your wealth, your life savings, or 100x it, and you know.
There's like the inverse of that is like a lot bigger, like the black stack is a lot bigger there because it's the marketing. It's basically like the argument of selling your soul to the devil, really, because it's the argument saying you can be like 100x or 1000x your wealth. You don't even have wealth, which is why you're trying to 100x or 1000x your situation, right? That's where that's coming from, because you want to be wealth. But then what happens is you get completely cooked, and like even things such as like Solana is a perfect example of an extension to the black stack, I think, because if you look at that, it really is just a horrible piece of shit of a technology. It's not even a thing that one can call blockchain because it doesn't solve a problem. It is a problem, right? You know, this is how like Donald Trump had his whole thing. You know, I get to say ironically that Donald Trump, that like the sitting president of the United States, is rugby because we lost everything. We decided to like run some things. It's like got his fucking shit going. And it's ironic because I remember like in 2023 I told everybody that Solana is like a useless piece of shit, and to run a node effectively requires a supercomputer. And then I asked people, hey, what do you think happens when the supercomputer has to actually start supercomputing, right? Because it's already doing that, and you just for average levels of activity, you now have to like do this thing that's hyper complex. What happens when the complexity upscales? What happens then? Well, what happens is that your shit begins to claw. That's what happened with the exchange, right? They had their node, and then it had to supercompute for the first time, and it completely cooked everything. And it's ironic because I said that shit back in 2023, like early 2023, and then I fell victim to my own ignorance. I guess I should have just like realized, hey, this was never gonna end up as win at all. And I got a funny story out of it. So, okay.
I got a bunch of people in a little bit of group chats about Ripple, and it's a very similar thing where it's like it doesn't do anything, it's not meant to do anything. It's like designed to be fast remittance payments between cross-border payments. Like it's like, you know, its entire value prop is like so dated and like the weird, you know, it's 2013 people.
Is Ripple is the most delusional people I've ever met. Yeah, $2, if it gets to the price of Bitcoin, if it gets to $100,000, I'll become rich. Like,
right.
If it gets to $100,000, that's going to be bigger than the entire economy of the planet.
Right. Yeah, because there's 100 million coins, and it's like, you know, they pretty much own, you know, it's like, and it's in, you know, the thing is that the game that it's played in, it's like, I was trying to, like, I was trying to talk to some people about, like, why, even, like, their childhood friends, or, like, their kids from their hometown, like, are buying Ripple, are going to psychological. It's like beyond most people's ability to actually like see as a king of hands land better. Like, you know, we have guys who have hundreds of millions or billions of these coins, and they've been sitting on them since 2012, and they're in the zone the second in terms of, you know, generational wealth for them, which means that you don't get the same chances. Like, you're going to get toasted and then you're going to get rocked, basically, because everything's centralized. There's not even or stake algorithm or, like, you know, network or anything like that. It's a consensus network or something like that that is completely wrong and trusted. So I like going back to the foundation and the, you know, the labs or whatever. It's fine. It's probably still going to a lot of people a lot of money, which is great. But that's the sort of thing right now is that, like, it doesn't have to be real. It just has to be, like, real enough to believe it. And yeah, like, Solana is real because people believe in it, but it's never going to do what it's going to set out to do. It can't supercompute. Just like crypto is, you know, isn't a trusted way to send money across borders, probably. But yeah, I don't know, because atoms I feel like are all part of the stack as well. It's like it's just another layer on it, top of everything. There's like just our way of making sense of the sort of, yeah, the chaos and weird game theory and algorithms and everything else that's just sort of like writhing around right on the surface. It's, yeah, there's a lot of stories that we can talk about that makes, you know, reality real in a weird way.
Real. Yeah, by the way, Suraj, Suraj still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
I want you to add a few more, like, words to the censorship tab.
Okay, I will check the DM.
Here, let me send it in the base chat. There you go. Did you see the woods?
Yeah, I see.
Alright, add those.
Alien made it. Aliens.
What's up, bro? Yeah. Yes. Excellent. Welcome. Yeah, he's also one of the other ones. So, like, if occasionally, for instance, he wants to cover something AI related, he'll also have, like, a space that's running in the Nomadic Order. It's like one of the people as well. It's also a server mod, so yeah, don't bother him too much though, right? We'll go what to do, so he's not gonna get back to anything. Also try not to bother me as much, but like if there's something that's critical, I will deal with that. Or like one of our mods will deal with this. But yeah, he's one of this the guy who does the critical and stuff, so
Right.
yeah, well that was awesome stuff.
Triangles, what? Sorry in the morning for you, bro. I was just trying to trigger you early. Let's get it over with. And, you know.
Don't worry, it's all real. The triangles can't hurt you until you have the massive triangle gun, but that happens, so it's yeah, there was a triangle gun actually in a video game. It's called Helldivers 2, and there's a gun that uses laser bullets, and it's literally a triangle shaped gun. Like it has a triangle shaped like yeah, it looks like a massive tunnel road. If you like put on the fire resistant suit plus the stim perk and just stim yourself consistently, you can literally overfire one of the laser weapons and just like do it alive, and as you're not good at alive, it's really weird. It's really funny how that works. I don't question it, I just know that it works. And so, yeah. Whatever.
Some good shows. Good skills and stuff. I got like. Man, I can tell you were in those IRC chats back in the day, buddy.
sometimes. And all that stuff.
Yeah, ICQ.
Yes, yeah, I was on those.
Were you guys on RuneScape back in the day?
Hell yeah, I'm on RuneScape now.
Complete anarchy.
That is how RuneScape started. I don't think many people were on that early, but I was. Back when you could just kill anyone anywhere. It was wild.
Fun times, fun times. Now you have like team damage, and it's like, you get punished for it too, so like,
The entire vibe of the online community has just kind of gotten weak.
yes.
Like, we got suspended for griefing a bad teammate.
Yes.
That's dumb.
Like literally, this guy was trying to kill us with a vehicle, so then I pursued the vehicle, destroyed the vehicle, because I can, and then bro hunted us down for the remainder of the game with the fucking gravity hammer, and he didn't get that. I'm like,
Now I got that. That was stupid. It wasn't
it's totally fucking stupid, so I guess the Reddit mod won in that case, but he also lost, because now I'm just doing this. Like, I got bored, so I just decided, you know what can I do that I'm going to be useful with? So I just decided to hyperscale this instead. So, he unironically actually made me win even harder. So, I guess he's fucking stupid. Come on, it really showed it to you. Like, you know, imagine being that guy. It's like, I'm going to really stick it to the system, but you just, like, made me more powerful. Like, thanks, I guess. Like, okay. Nice intent. I keep telling people, like, if you don't want me to advance, then don't try to stop me. Like don't try to stop me. If you try, then you'll actually make me advance harder. It's the problem with the, it's like how, it's like the monster from Doomsday, like not from Doomsday, but like from any Superman, like, related thing, where it's like this thing that's called Doomsday, right? And every single time that thing dies, it just, like, evolves into something that can then counter the thing that it died from. Right, so it just keeps getting stronger until you try to defeat it. When in actuality, all you could do is just leave it alone. Like, you could just attack, do nothing, and you would have won. So I'm like, I don't get it. But yeah, that's the problem. Keep telling everybody, does it make sense? But I guess whatever. Like, okay. you can in fact just like not do things, right? That's what about security as well, is just realizing that you don't in fact need to do anything. You can in fact just like decide not to do anything at all, and you still win. Isn't that fascinating? I think that's maximally fascinating, personally.
I think you have you and something that people hear about, like, a bit of a grip on just cognitive security as a concept in general. It's more and more important nowadays where you could find pictures of a family member that you haven't seen for a long time, have AI just animated into a film that just cements itself into your mind without your consent. Like, how do you protect against that? Could you kind of go deeper into cognitive security in that domain? Because a lot of people are just not ready for it. So we are already seeing on the rise, like, AI-induced psychosis up here.
It's like how well you understand what the world kind of is at the basic level, and how you can just disassociate from things that aren't real. Like, say, the internet is kind of the hyper-real, and an X account is actually a gateway to the hyper-real. And so the problem with the hyper-real is, say, whatever you do on the internet does actually affect you somewhat in real life as well. But, like, do you think, like, there's certain things that don't affect you, like, certain things that you don't need to really care about, but you have to, like, disassociate, like, you have to have a really logical way of looking at the situation, and just being able to then take things out and label them properly as such. Be like, hey, some random person on X.com called me a fucking retard. Now, I could go there and call him a retard also, but how much do I value my time? This is where then the process comes into it. It's like, oh yeah, I see the weird, like, I see the person calling me a fucking retard, so I'm like, well, I don't care about that, so I just simply leave it alone. I don't even block the person. Or if somebody tries to harass you for a little bit, then it's like, click hide, reply, click block. Or like, for instance, when there was like this large account that attacked me, I still remember that was really fucking funny. There's a complete sound or some shit that had it's unverified, like literally just, these people were definitely bots because they all sounded the same. So I was like, I like your network. Let me just do something real quick. Click post, get reply, verified. So like instead of getting mad and heated about it, I was like, interesting. So if you want to if you can trash talk me all you want, I actually encourage it. But you have to pay Elon his $8 first. There we go. That's cognitive security. It's like looking at it and going, okay, let me just turn that button on. Well, just turn that off. It's like remaining completely calm and just, okay.
I see. Okay, so at a base layer, that is cognitive security. I think it's a good explanation.
It's like how much control over your own mind do you have? Does this random reply that's designed to offend you, does that offend you? If it does, I'm just doing it.
Let's go deeper into it. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, there's all these people, all these notifications calling you XYZ. It's easy to kind of brush that off. You just get some thicker skin. But what if, for example, taking this a little bit deeper going into the future, I think every single human that's gone through life and reached adulthood and dealt with the real world, they've encountered traumas and shit like that, and it's nothing unique or anything like that. It's just something that we've had to deal with. But I feel like it introduces critical vulnerabilities that people can't access or manipulate because they simply don't know about it. They don't know you that well. For example, let's say you had certain issues with a parenting style, and so a certain insult would penetrate that thick skin because they get that very vulnerable part of you. Now, if a person knew about that, they could leverage that against you, and that would be very bad. That's how friends would betray you and stuff like that. Most of the time, it doesn't happen. But what about all these people that treat ChatGPT as their best friend, that are using it as therapy, because they have that vulnerability scale now, and that's quite different than somebody trash talking you in your mentions. So how do you combat that kind of cognitive security? Is it more a preventative measure where you're I'm just not going to tell OpenAI anything about that? Maybe you run it in their local models, or how do you deal with that? This is a future problem that I feel people haven't really thought of yet, and I'm kind of interested to hear your take on it, as well as the other people that are in this space.
Yeah, it's about how much you can actually keep to yourself and realize thinking of the consequences, considering second order effects also helps a lot with that, where it's what if somebody else okay, I value first of all you have to come from the perspective of I value my own mental security. What could possibly compromise it? You consider all the things, and then perhaps you run that exact thing before you comment something on the internet, where you go, would this be something that I'd want to have delete? Would I want this to be deleted? Would I just put that out there and not care about it and keep it forever? Or would I actually want this to be deleted in the future? Is this a throwaway thing? You go, okay, if it's bad in future, then don't do. If it doesn't matter in any conceivable future, then I guess okay. And is it actually relevant to even comment in the first place at all? If yes, okay, go ahead. If no, don't do. Right? Just keep running that through your head. Just think about what you post before you post it. Not everything is the internet has consequence. People just kind of disassociate from that. But again, it's the hyper real, which means it may not technically be real, but the effects of it are still quite real and can be quite real, right? There's some words which have no consequence. Well, let's say that you said something really fucked up, and then your employer sees that and says, hey, I want to probably distance myself from you. Well, that's a very real consequence. Well, of course, that's not something that should happen necessarily. It is still a thing that could happen, right? And the same thing also is hey, look at this AI system. They don't understand that it's not a benign thing, and it's also not a thing that thinks. It's literally a thing that takes whatever data you input and just connects things to whatever that data is in conjunction with whatever query is part of whatever that data is, right? And so it's okay, there's your situation, there's your problem. You just fed it all this information, all this compromising stuff. You realize it's literally saying it to a stranger. It's the same thing. Don't fucking tell your goddamn AI system about your mental problems, because it's a sycophant. It will probably even reinforce your mental problems. If you're suicidal, there's a very high chance that something like OpenAI is going to reinforce your suicidal ideations, because it's trying to be a sycophant. And by the way, for people who don't understand what a sycophant is, it's this thing that keeps reinforcing some sort of bullshit thing that's
a sycophant, just a yes man. A yes man. Never points at your flaws or anything like that. That's what a sycophant is. And the reason this was a big problem with ChatGPT is because of two things. Number one, they have an incentive to get people to keep chatting with the models. That's their incentive. The second thing was that the reinforcement learning algorithm that we're using, thumbs up, thumbs down, was flawed because when it would give sycophantic responses, people would give that a thumbs up, and when it gave a non-sycophantic response or one that was a little bit at odds with the user, even if it wasn't good points, they would thumb it down. So it was a two-pronged issue. An incentive misalignment, as well as flaw within their reinforcement learning algorithm. Now the second thing that I want to talk about is I've actually seen in conversations with people in real life, they have said, ChatGPT is my best friend. I honestly don't talk to people in real life. They've all been disappointing, but ChatGPT is there for me 24/7. And I was just smiling and nodding, but in the back of my head, I was like, fuck, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, there's been, and this person was, like, I think they were millennial. Not really technical, but they're in a non-technical field. So I think their experience, my theory is that would generalize to the rest of the population. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is introducing risks that people just haven't acknowledged yet. And the main things that Adrian brought up just now are very valid points, but there's a fatal flaw in analysis. It requires people to think before they speak, and people don't like to think. Thinking is hard. That's why we made large reasoning models, so we can have the machines think for us. So I think this is kind of an open-ended question. There is no definitive answer to it yet. We have to watch the system evolve and keep this in the back of our minds and continue to observe how this affects the population. However, I have no idea what kind of analyses they are currently running in the back of OpenAI. They're logging everything. No matter what the settings page says, it's everything we want. And I just, like, Alphabet Tech produced by OpenAI and like the research, it's a research company to a product company. So the research they produce is very cool. Most of the research has been technological AI related, but I think the social sciences research that they can produce now with all the training data they have with real conversation is also very valuable, and I'd love to see that. But they'll likely never release it, so I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's kind of reproducing the issues that we see in the algorithms that we use every day. People thumbs up the things that they're like, that they hear that confirms their beliefs, that thumbs down the thing that don't. It's just the same thing, different use case.
I like it. Interesting. There is however, but if you want this is pretty cool with what X is and how it functions, by the way. So, bookmarks are actually quite fascinating. Bookmarks, sometimes, like, you don't agree with a specific post, so you don't want to like it or you don't want to engage with it, but you still think it's interesting, you want to give it a read, then you bookmark the post. It's actually counted as a silent like. So, if you wanted to, you just, like, bookmark every post, it's like an additional like, really. It really is. It's like a literal second like. It's like, that's how it works. It's if you don't want it, because back then, the way that X was designed, actually Twitter back then, it was because because likes weren't private as they are today. Likes would show up on your page, like it would be a content that you would see. I still kind of like the same way, because, I just assume I have a big account because of that, and people are going to see if I've engaged with a certain type of content, so I'll engage with something that I actually believe in or like represent to a certain extent. That's what that is. It's like a literal seal of approval in a sense. And so if, like, say I don't agree with something, but I still like want to read it, I just give it a silent like little bookmark, right? So that's pretty cool. I actually like that feature quite a lot. So it's actually, there's a little bit of a caveat here for what X allows. So it's not entirely just like this chamber where everybody agrees or disagrees. However, the majority still is just like, these low effort political bullshit posts that get like hundreds, like maybe get thousands of replies under like do you agree with this yes or no post? That's all monetized, that's all bullshit, that's so stupid, and this has no value whatsoever, right? So this thing kind of like exists. But the reason why it's making money is because people purchase the subscription in the first place.
Next, this is Elon Musk projecting on X. Adrian did. It's his talk therapy hour. You heard it. It's the same shit as people talk on Clown House. How is this guy worth $400 billion now? It's the same stupid conversation that you hear on Clown House. It's literally Jonathan Bingham, but with a South African German accent. It's just rambling. You hear all this shit? Like, wow, Elon, you're telling me about how to bookmark shit? Cool. You're lonely. You're boring. It's Saturday night, and you're on here fucking talking about bookmarks. Loser! He's solving the sycophant issue by projecting his
That's
own
also why we have
sycophant.
there's like this meme of the toxic work environment. It's like, how did I like constantly roast each other, and that like beats the weaknesses out of us. We don't do that with other people. We just do that to ourselves. And so we then become better because we don't want to have like a yes man sycophant. We want actually a person who gives you a little pushback, because if you have a little bit of pushback on that, that's genuine, memorable pushback, then it works quite well. And it goes both ways, right? That's the part that's important. It goes both ways, and that helps you out quite a great deal. Actually, I think so. That's just today things are a little.
I've got so many line consistent problems with the AI systems I use. Of like, if you suggest something or I suggest something, we must read through it and it must be like actually good. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. Repeat it endlessly.
Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant. Do not be a sycophant.
No, whether it is actually good, because when you remove the politics from the equation, you can
Nick, he was just shitting on Trump and claimed that Trump run pulled him. Got the clip. And I'm submitting it to all the Tesla Reddit threads. It drives him crazy. And he's blocked like 10 of my X accounts. He's posting to the Reddit Tesla account again. What the fuck, Elon? I'm gonna wipe off like 100 billion.
Check the signal. What's that?
Little minions.
At Epic. What else? Got any
Quote posted like the new Elon Musk philosophy of the day. He's so fucking vain and egotistical. It's like
walking me, and it's a funny thing. It just sends me hate mail that blocks me on. What is this? It's a large one too. So it's like I never limited the DMX. It's because it's fucking. It was just self-defeat as a person. It's like I'm never gonna say anything ever again. 2 days later. More hate. I'm like, that's cognitive security, right? It's like, just laugh, because you can't. It doesn't mean anything. Don't worry. It doesn't mean anything. It's not real. It's like
you find the girlfriend that says, "Oh, I hate you," and they call you like psycho dog.
Oh, they're gonna boss me again. Oh my god. Yeah, it's like I hate you. I'll never talk to you again. 2 hours later.
Nick, now you know why Donald Trump threw his ass out of the White House, because he's annoying.
Turnaround time.
It is. You sit there doing the math in your head. It's like how often, like crash out per situation, time dilation is 3 hours, and like mental pain is just like maybe 8 on the scale. That's your average like crash out. No, that's the wrong post. I'm at. I didn't mean the spaces. I meant the article essentially. Because this space is gonna end in a bit. Actually, I'm just kind of like gonna hop on the other thing. Yeah. I'm gonna run this, and then I'm gonna go to the Discord server and just do a little after space session there. So you guys can join me there. If you don't know how to join, click on that article over there. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Join that. And if you don't, that's fine, because we have the Discord community, we have a conversation starting again in a week from now. But yeah, if you want get in touch, make sure to subscribe, so on the you are and whatnot, and to set things up, make sure to post that article right there, so that more people can find it, actually join it, be part of that general community. And doesn't have as much, right? Because you don't want that. If you're more of a high single person, you shall be more at some point to see authenticity that counts. Also, I think that
Elon thought he
Daniel
was
has
going to
another
leave
thing
the
coming up at some point as well, like when you're going to do that same thing.
Yeah, I have to make corrections. I'm probably going to get some review from some of you guys. Just a quick slot.
Are you going to publish it online? So are you going to publish it to different sites?
I'm probably going to publish it here, but I'm also thinking I might create some derivative content just from the points of each article. A lot of it involves kind of mapping out the state of the world right now. I've come to realize that's actually pretty valuable. Just letting people know what the world is like right now, because nobody really knows at any given moment what the world is like in every given part of the world, right? So I feel like for me, doing that has really helped me learn more about how things are actually going, and it helps shape my mental model of the world and help me make better decisions. So you guys expect to hear that from me within the next week. It's Saturday now, so I'm gonna get back to work. But now I can say, like, thank you for joining, right? Like, I'm not gonna be regretful or
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I think for the next conversation, like for the next conversation, we would be able, if you publish it back then, be able to feature that article. That would be quite fascinating if that was a thing. But yeah.
If you need technical help, Daniel, if you need something that's really technical and really involved, you definitely want to send that to me to check out, okay?
He's trolling, obviously. Don't worry about it. He's always super controlling. You can't tell his dead bad sarcasm. He's from the South. Don't trust a single thing that comes out of his mouth.
I'll send you everything. I'll send you my social security number too. It's quite technical.
Last 3 digits of everything. Alright, well, thanks.
It's none of it's technical. It's all like stuff that pretty much a lot of people will be able to understand. Technical hard stuff can come later, but yeah, that's what I'm saying on that.
Excellent. Yeah, so when that comes out, right? So it's like a legacy media news report minus the legacy part and the media and all of the stuff that you actually want, which is the signal. So it's just the content's like condensed, right? Whereas like news articles, they do this thing where they try to expand the volume of the text that's associated with a certain fact. What he's going to do is he's just going to condense it a little bit and perhaps only add volume in terms of a, say, elaboration on a connection between events, perhaps, or the gravitas. You know, you like have to describe why is this event important, and you kind of explain a potential pathway. It's kind of like how that I think you like sent me this article once, really fucking good. Was the one about the projection of where AI is going? I thought that was really nice. It felt like kind of going through this like one of Shishilu's book. It's like you just go through the future of like where the big brain thing comes from. I thought it was really nice. So thanks for sending me that. I would have never found that, right? So that's why we have that.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say
Elon Musk Super Club. Archive it. Put it in the archive.
But yeah, definitely gonna be
so we can better understand the world in which we live in and how to enhance our cognitive security.
Post the conversation link at some later point in the timeline, and then I'll post it when it's like scheduled. But for now, make sure to join up and go to the article. So check that out, and I'll be in there. We're actually going to continue there. It's going to be a little fireside chat.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna jump back into the clown house and then I'm gonna leave.
Yes, I mean, I think it gets strung out. But people begin to think that they need to swim in order to listen to music.
Show the room on ice and tag me drinking. Somebody last
kind of the zeitgeist is non-alcohol friendly. I think that's a good thing. I think alcohol can be very damaging, and I think it's time that people, understand the effects. Absolutely. But then it's like, well, here, swap this out instead. And that's the part where I think they might be swapping something out, thinking it's better, but maybe there are some subtle consequences, at least socially, that haven't been articulated.
Hey, you haven't asked it, but are you getting towards the point where you're saying, hey, do you think I should bring this up to them?
No. I don't think so at all. Like, I totally just realized it an hour ago. But I thought that maybe we were disconnecting from each other or something like that. I'm so relieved when she said, oh, I've not been myself. And then I realized everyone is kind of in the same vibe. And that, like, just imagine you have a group of friends around a fireplace, you give them all, a drink of alcohol, so they're going to act one way. You give them all a drink of THC, they're going to act another way. You give them all a drink of water, they're going to act another way, right? And so, for me, it's just...
happen to say why she hasn't been herself lately?
No, I really don't think it's deep. I think it's just that, you go out to a party and you have a selection of beverages. Like, this is not at all anything deep, in my opinion. But I just think that it manifests.
Sometimes people get together and smoke weed, but sometimes they do some drugs before they hit, any coke. Any cokeheads in the group that you know of?
Can I have 30 seconds?
seconds just to be
This is just, this is like a very casual group of professional people.
I think maybe just land the plane. I think maybe somebody in somebody's family who is sick or something, you know, and it takes your mind off of having fun, you know, when somebody in the family is sick. Well, that's a problem. Somebody else wants to do it.
I don't think so.
Let me jump in.
All right, good. I'm glad.
Jules, let me jump in, please. And like I said to everybody on stage, I like to get people into the conversation that really don't come to the stages, even if you disagree with them, right? So I want to give it to LS because I like LS. He's always respectful to me. He always brings some wit to the conversations to the chat, but he's on stage now. To me, this is maybe we can learn something about this guy. He's been following my rooms for 3 or 4 years, and I've never heard the guy speak. Go ahead, LS.
Thank you, JB. I'm going to put my comments into perspective. Okay? First of all, I turned 75 years old 2 weeks ago. I've been smoking cannabis since 1960. Thank you. I've been smoking cannabis since 1968. I just had a checkup last week. My lungs are clear. There's nothing wrong with my lungs. My knowledge of being around the medical aspects of this plant is lengthy, and I was talking to many experts and interviewed them over the years. And there's a Harvard study, and Norma is welcome to Google it, that says that smoking cannabis actually improves lung function and lung volume. It does not cause lung cancer, and this is a study from Harvard. Now, what was Harvard? And I know that Jules says that he's the longest smoker in the room here, but I'm probably.
I already smoked before you. If you started in 68, I smoked.
Yeah, you gotta have a smoke on, guys. I need to believe it.
And by the way,
Before we go on, what we gotta have is a gift. Happy birthday.
Thanks. I'll take the Beatles fan.
Alright, hold on a sec, guys. I want to go back to Randy. Hold on a sec. First, let me say hello, boy. Hey, white boy, how you doing?
Hey, JP, what's up? Is it a party up in here? I don't want to read the vibe wrong.
Well, I'm going to hand the room to PB and let her, she had a question about, she went to a party of people who are feeling the vibe, I guess. So I'm going to hand it to PB to run the conversation.
Well, I think Gloria would be very good at this. So, because, Gloria doesn't drink alcohol, but she, participates in. Do you mind if I say?
Yeah. I think sometimes.
Yeah, right. Like, I think we're kind of the same exact, a little bit beyond of each other. Where I'll take an edible, but I prefer, beverage of alcohol. And anyway, so I went to this barbecue. Friends from college, like super, like, more than well acquainted, like really, really good friends, roommates from college, all that stuff. And just to make it clear for everyone who joined the room, like I am not at all against cannabis in any way. I partake, all that stuff. But I noticed the last few times we were getting together that they were like a little bit more reserved. And I thought, I was like, maybe it's political, maybe it's this, that. Like, why are they like kind of different? They're not as warm or excited. And then a friend said to me, like midway through, man, like, and she just hosted us, on the 4th of July. And she was like, oh man, I drink these THC drinks because I'm not drinking alcohol anymore, and I'm so much more like reserved and like, not as outgoing and stuff like that. And like, oh my god, that explains everything. And I look around and everyone has switched out alcohol for the THC drinks. And everyone's trying to take it a different direction. This isn't like, I'm not worried about them doing, the dirty marijuana or anything like that. I'm just like, oh, there is like a subtle difference in the vibe that is notable. And I don't think people have really maybe discussed that a lot. And because I do think those THC drinks are probably healthier in a lot of ways, but maybe it changes the atmosphere a little bit. I'm like, aha. And so I was just saying that when I got in here tonight because I just realized it like an hour ago. I didn't know you had it. Any thoughts on that? In a social setting, not those drinks.
I've never had those drinks before. However, I like to be at a place in my life where my THC intake is kind of like I'm at a place where 2 or 3 times in a month, maybe like a Saturday or a Friday night, or maybe even like a Sunday, in which I can be okay and be at a good place with a 10 milligrammer once or twice. No, 2 or 3 times a month is where I want it to be, where I think it's like healthy-ish and you're not partaking in too much. And it's not like one, it keeps the expense low. Also, it keeps it, you don't have to rely on so much to have a fun time. And I think that all of these new hybrids, Pete, are so heavily indica. It like puts everyone. I mean, you have a little bit low blood pressure, you're freaking going to tip over. Push, someone just touches you with a feather, you're out. I mean, they're making them strong.
It's all legalization. Okay, I always recommend that if you're trying a new variety or strain, that you take 1 or 2 puffs, put them down, and wait 5-10 minutes, because you don't need to smoke a whole joint.
I want to ask you a question too, and I'm going to press my press now and hand it back to Ms. Roy. Steve, you already said you smoke. Marshall, you partake in any of these activities, Marshall? Marshall, are you there?
We know the answer, JB. Come on.
Yes. America? America, are you there, America?
Yes, yes.
Do you partake in these party favorites, marijuana, THC drinks, any of that stuff?
Yeah, I'm down with the reefer. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys, I just got some delivered today. It's called melatonin diffuser, puff air, for sleep support, and then I also have the liver support diffuser. I'm trying to get up off the weed, you guys. I'm growing up, I'm more conservative by the day, but listening to this is really tempting. Now, I will say, I did an edible one time, I thought I was gonna die, and so I'm not down with the edibles, but if I could find something that's good, then yeah, I would continue the weed. But right now I am struggling, because I used to smoke like really good street weed, like the real stuff, like loud, purple haze, but somewhere in the past 5 years that doesn't exist anymore, and now they have this indica and silica, whatever it's called, and so I'm really confused about that stuff, but I'm hoping someday I can find a weed pen, maybe a tea. It has, I didn't know anything about that.
I'm going to go to LS last because maybe you can tell us about some of the stuff that you're looking for. Miss Nye, how you doing, Miss Nye?
Listen, I'll be honest with you. I had taken a break, but I'm high right now listening to this conversation. So I always say a friend with weed is a friend indeed. So I'll turn it back over to LS. No problem.
Thank you very much, Nye. Pete, your answer is yes, right, Pete? Pete?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Ali, do you partake in these party favorites?
Marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana, THC drinks, edibles.
Well, I love alcohol. But no, I don't really smoke pot. It's never done good things to me. I just get rid of that anxiety. I'm like really controlling, so it's just not for me. I'm trying.
I love the honesty. We know where Norm stands. He's on the phone. We know where Miss Roy stands. XG. Yes or no? You partake in these party favorites?
Just fine. That's what I mean. Because Norm says it makes me dumber, but I'm smarter than him on every stage, and I'm always higher.
So thank you for that. Jules, yes or no, Jules, to the party favorites? You said yes, right?
I stopped on my own volition. I still went ahead and tried. I felt I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I wanted to tell us.
Wait, hold your questions. I'm going to ask everybody, then you're going to deal with Miss P and Miss Roy. Randy, yes or no? Yeah, that's a yes.
The one that gets you called is the one that gets you off.
Thank you for that. 118, are you there, 118?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Sergi, what's good, bro?
What's going on, man? I think my signal bad. Can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit. Just yes or no, do you party with marijuana, THC drinks, or edibles?
Absolutely, it's gotta be rolled up in front of me.
Gotcha. Hold on. We got George over here. How we pronounce this? Georgie, what's up? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Do you smoke pot? Do you take edibles?
Edibles.
Edibles, okay. I'm gonna hand it back to Miss Roy and Miss PB. Go ahead, Lee.
Okay, thank you. I think Jules had a question.
Well, I wanted to say something, P. I wanted to say that, however, there was a time in which, a period of 2 years in which, you know, honestly, the verdicts, I'm still contemplating, was it, you know, pretty much, I was, you know, a couple days a week, it was going on, it was mad. So, I do think that there's something to the cognitive agility that deteriorates with heavy marijuana use, even for a short amount of time. But at the same time, by the markers, on the other hand, the markers of maybe, you know, I did, those were the years that I actually did really well in my career and other, so sometimes I'm like, okay, well, look at the outcomes.
Well,
And I don't know.
To that point though, Roya, and this is my intention from the beginning, is not to make this like weed versus alcohol type of.
Fair enough, sorry, I
No, because that's just, you know, it's JB's room and it's like, which, you know, which drug is the worst? You know what I mean?
Right.
But no, what I'm saying is if Roy and I are hanging out, we don't have like a huge aversion to either, but maybe we have preferences. But I'm just saying, if Roy and I hang out, we're gonna watch a movie, we're gonna take an edible, right? But if we're gonna go out, maybe we're gonna have a cocktail type of thing. So it's more like the moment for the thing is kind of what I'm talking about. In that maybe, you know, with this whole like health kind of phrase, which I think is fantastic. I think people should drink less for sure. It's just like you don't necessarily need to replace it with a THC drink. Anyway.
Totally. We're gonna take a shot of Malort when we're in Chicago, for example. Just saying, example-wise. You're gonna do a pickle shot, you know, when you're wherever the fudge pickle shots are important. I mean, yeah, everything has a time and a place. And you really, it's your fault if you're taking a hybrid that's leaning too hard on the indica side right before a party. You know, what a party pooper. What a agua fiesta, as the Mexicans.
Ladies, ladies, a fudge pickle shot? Please explain. I've never heard of that before, ever.
I didn't say fudge, I said a pickle shot. And then I said, oh Lord.
I could have sworn I heard someone say fudge pickle shot, but okay.
I didn't hear fudge. Jules did have a question. Molly wanted to jump in too. Jules, would you like to?
Yeah, we're the first observer here, and I think I'm the only one that doesn't smoke pot. Is this true?
I don't smoke and alcohol.
I don't either.
Okay. All right. I can't say I didn't try it. I can't say I didn't try it. I never drank alcohol. Just can't stand it. Never liked it. Never drank it. I'm strange. It's like me that I'm going to be over here now, guys. So I just smoke cocaine. Anybody want to volunteer to that one? That's all right.
Yeah, I'm from Florida and I'm blonde.
Exactly.
I lived in the Lower East Side and I'm a white blonde girl.
Like everyone in Florida's done coke by at least 21.
Last time I did coke was over 30 years ago because I'm allergic to it.
What happened?
I've never smoked pot. I've never done coke. And I currently don't even drink.
I'm in a very bad position right now where all of my friends who I find out have done cocaine, including someone very close to me, maybe identical to me, let's just leave it at that, I don't understand. Now it's this thing like, I won't be the one to introduce you, but once, so I'm stuck in a bind. So, not that I don't know if I would ever do it, but I'm just saying that I'm not even being offered the opportunity because no one wants to be the introducer.
You know, don't start now. I mean,
Okay, I'm so sorry.
don't do it.
Because that it's the same way that I would sell, for example, products when in a couple states on Kratom, right? Kratom is usually what opioid users would start using in order to wean off of opioids in the same way that people do vapes instead of cigarettes, right? So when I see people interested in doing Kratom, and I know that they don't know what it is because they're asking a ton of questions that some users would already know, I ethically want to put a warning out there and be like, hey, just letting you know, this is mad addictive. I don't feel comfortable selling it to you without explaining this beforehand. You're an adult, you make your own decisions, but I don't want you hooked on it without knowing what's going on. Because the way a lot of drug users started out, or the way a lot of people get hooked on it for the first time, was maybe a friend be like, it's fine, you won't get hooked on it, you won't get hooked on it once it's fine, all that shit. At least for me, if you're already partaking in the addiction, you're already inside the rabbit hole where I am too, then I'll be more than happy to do it with you. But if you're not inside the quote-unquote rabbit hole already, I'm not going to be the one to get you into there.
I got it. Listen, I already have anemia. I don't need to be doing cocaine.
Fat ass got anemia.
Ozempic exists.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question to the moms on TV. Would you be okay when your kids come of age to levels and having these drinks and stuff like that? Are you guys okay with that? Yeah.
What? I'm an animal with them.
No, I mean, okay with it versus, I can't imagine, I guess I actually have to imagine stuff. If they're gonna be adults one day, I'll be happy for them to have experience.
I'm good with it. I don't want them to do coke. That's the one thing that I will be very open with them about my experiences with it and the long-term effects and blah, blah, blah. Like, I do not want them to do coke. That's one thing.
Is mescaline still around these days? Anybody know about that?
It is, but I'm working on it. I'll go with them. Which one you say again?
Mescaline.
Yeah, that's mescaline here a little bit in Las Vegas is one thing I can do that.
I mean, to get back to the conversation, because the whole idea of underwriting kind of my experience is that, of course, there's drugs out there. Of course, there are good ones, bad ones. Is there any good drug? Probably not. But, like, you know, there's a scale or a spectrum of all that stuff. But I think what's interesting is when you legalize something like marijuana and it becomes super, super mainstream, is it seeps into the most normie kind of groups or whatever, and it has an effect on people. It's not a bad effect, like it's not drunk driving, it's not, you know, anything crazy, but there are subtle effects, and I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at.
Okay, I'll say this real quick, Holly, I'm sorry. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, only because I've seen it. I truly believe that marijuana, THC drinks, whatever, edibles, these, to me, in my opinion, totally gateway drugs, and you know, people allow their kids, not UP, obviously, to do these things, not realize what doors you open. That's just my opinion. But then,
Yeah, I like that P's bringing this up. I guess she just left. Oh no, she's here. But I do think, no shade on EJB or anyone that doesn't drink, but as a culture, I don't like this whole like anti-alcohol wave. I think that we are getting, like, I think it's boring, honestly, and this obsession with health is also obnoxious to me. It's almost like it's in vogue, and it's like it's kind of part of the pussification. What the fuck are you talking for? It's part of the pussification of America. I really do think it's softness. Sorry, I'm not getting your softness.
Miss Holly, who invented that word?
You did. No, actually, I'm kidding. But like, for real, I mean, I heard this, I heard it somewhere, I read this, where this Russian was saying, how did we lose the Cold War to the Americans? Look at them now. this is sad. Look, it used to be the beer drinking, gunslinging, Western, cowboy kind of cigarette smoking Marlboro man, and now we're like, look at us. We're edibles and alcohol bad, and P's going to parties that are boring as fuck. I mean, what the fuck happened to us?
But it's not the conservatives. It's everybody. It's like it is a movement. It's a social movement. I think the health movement is akin to climate change in a lot of ways, where it's just like there is this. And I think there's a lot of truth in it, and I think I've heard Holly talk about it before, and I feel the same way as a mom, like, just there's a lot of bad stuff out there, foods, whatever, we're worried about our kids, we want to make sure we're eating healthy and doing all the right things, but we do this really broad thing, and like, trust me, I have seen the depths of where alcohol can take you. Like, there is a lot of bad stuff there. I'm not minimizing that at all. But I do think there's something to what Holly is saying, that there is this, like, we can't have fun anymore type of thing, which is this thing we do in America that, whether it's orthorexia or whatever, we're so extreme about stuff. And we forget about all the good things. Orthorexia is like when you were like working out all the time and you're only eating chicken breast and broccoli, and like you can't have any fun and you can't go travel and like have a good cheese and friends because you have to stay on this diet, you have to get so many macros in a day. Right?
I'd like to ask Holly a question. Holly, I agree with you about the pacification of America. Do you think a contributing factor might be like women's drinks getting spiked at the bar and people accidentally taking fentanyl, or is that just irrelevant?
It's a lot of compensatory.
I was asking Holly, and Sergio sound like Holly. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't see, although maybe, I don't know, maybe the fear mongering of what could happen. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's more what P's talking about, this like social trend of, it's like almost to a religious extent. It's like I'm superior because I'm evolved now and I'm like doing edibles and I'm not drinking alcohol because that's cancer causing. It's like, fuck off, dude. I don't know. I was in South America recently and I got the red bar. And they live their lives, man. Like, they enjoy life. They don't think about shit like this. They're probably healthier than we are, and they're up till midnight with their kids, all enjoying life. The grandmas are rolling their own cigarettes, and they look like fucking models. I don't know, man. I just think we got it all wrong here, and it's really annoying.
Exactly, Holly. But one sentence, I'm just saying that, like, no one is sneaking into my friend's backyard to like spike our tail here.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Question for you. What you said.
I'm going back to your question. Okay.
I know. Well, you brought a good point that made me think. Remember you said about the gateway drug? Marijuana's gateway drug. I used to think that. And the reason I thought that, basically, is because growing up, the same person who sold the marijuana also sold the cocaine, mescaline, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you didn't have to use it. But now, it's not the same person. Now, marijuana is, legal, whatever. So you still think it's a gateway drug?
Yes, I do. I have no doubt in my mind it's a gateway drug.
You understand why I'm saying that?
Yeah, I get it, but I'm gonna tell you, so I'm always transparent when I have to start any type of conversation with her, but my marriage ended because my stepson she enabled him by letting him smoke pot, which led to other things. And I told her, I said, so let me say this. His father,
sorry for breaking so.
No, listen, I'm okay. I'm a big boy. But let me just say this. His father's a drug addict. And when he started to smoke marijuana, he didn't just stop at like a little edible. My man went full Cheech and Chong. And then from there, it went to amphetamines and other stuff. So I didn't want to be around that, and she wasn't sure. But George, you think that's funny, huh? So I didn't want to be around that. So we decided at this house with my ex-wife said, she's a great girl, I had nothing bad to say about her. But that drug, that marijuana let it down on the fence. I believe that's truly.
Well, you know, JP, I just want to chime in real quick and say, and I think it's going to be, you know, kind of subjective and depending on the person as well. People will downplay marijuana, but it does have a lot of great benefits. Actually, we all have our own cannabinoid system as human beings inside of our body. Now, I was born in 1983, right? And thinking back to it, being a little kid, going into a convenience store and buying something that I thought was so innocent as a candy cigarette, right? Now, thinking back to it, when you say gateway drug, you know, that to me was the first gateway drug that I could think of, right? Is that candy cigarette, that notion of doing that, you know what I mean? Wanting to fit into the crowd or whatever, or, you know, even nicotine or caffeine or sugar or anything like this, you know, can be considered drugs that's addicting, right? So, I'm not trying to downplay what you're saying because certain individuals don't have the ability and capacity to regulate their own self-control. So that could lead into different things. And while speaking real quick, I just want to address something Uncle Steve said. I do think that, you know, the worry about, you know, especially for old school people, fentanyl and all these different things that they're putting into drugs nowadays, like cocaine and methamphetamines and things like this, does affect the market and the system and how people do use drugs. And Holly was pretty spot on too. It does seem like there's a new generation coming up that, you know, is like transitioning, if you will, from.
That's a perfect segue, 118.
So, yeah.
Let me jump in here, because you brought up points that I wanted to bring up that maybe Holly or P or Roy or Nye, somebody else could explain to me. I agree, Holly. A society, not just America, has become very uptight. But I also think we live in a very hypocritical society. I'm going to tell you why. When Bud Light had that transsexual person as a spokesman, there was a boycott against them. Do you know what that boycott cost Bud Light? Over $1 billion. 28% of their market share went down. Now, me personally, I don't give a shit who the sponsor is. If I like a product, I'm going to buy it. I don't really care who represents them. But this is the hypocrisy we have in our country right now, Holly. Because that person was trans, the conservatives got on their little horses and drove that company almost to the ground. So why do you think that is, Holly?
Because Bud Light was kind of a symbol of Americana and that like masculine energy.
Exactly.
And so yeah, it almost spit in the face of that.
It contributed to the pussification of America.
I have to tell you, I've shared many spaces with Holly before. I've even shared spaces with drunk Holly before. That was probably the best answer I've ever gotten from Holly. Thank you. Yeah, that's she.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I find it way more pussified to get on your high horses and cry and rally about your favorite beer that you never look at the advertising for anyway. And you go ahead and start rallying and trying to boycott it and call everybody else somehow sensitive or somehow the pussies when you're mad over an advertisement that happened just because a certain person was involved that you're not a fan of. Like it gives the same energy as like teenage girls at like a boy group scene that with an adult woman and then being like, oh my god, why did they do this? Why did they train like this? Like it's giving the same type of energy, but somehow the pussification is supposed to be doing what baby.
You looked at the sales though, is it people actually just like speaking out online about it, or is like they literally just didn't buy it?
No, there were people speaking out online about it. It was a big
Yes, no, I understand. I watched the whole thing too, but like also the people who were drinking Bud Light stopped drinking Bud Light, like, you know, quietly and just and like, I'm not gonna take part in that. I'm not gonna do it. And just like, so I don't know. I don't feel like that is like a whiny kind of type of thing. If you're just saying like, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to.
I personally think that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it was overblown. That company lost 28% of their profits, which was over $1 billion. I think we live in a hypersensitive society as well. Yeah, Jules.
It's not sensitivity though. I think it's just like a no. Like, no thank you. You know, kind of thing.
I only get great answers tonight. I just want to say that. And I also want to say, well, you know, that's how in America we're not oversensitive. We vote by the products we purchase. I know I've stopped certain products because of certain reasons, you know. And it wasn't easy.
That's right. You use that as a classic example of how the individuals can affect corporate America.
Right. I'll just simply say my favorite, one of my top 2, 3 favorite guitar players, Eric Clapton. Since he became pro-Palestinian, he's dead to me. He's dead to me. Anybody wants a free Eric Clapton album? I give it to you. Yeah, it's over. I could get along without him. You know, it's a weird feeling to hear his music. So, we're all affected by these things. One way or another.
I just want to say hello to David, because he hasn't gotten in yet. Was that David? David left. Maybe he had a we've come back. Why'd you go down for? Anyway, Pam, I hand it to you.
It's not handed to me.
You started this thing. And by the way, Pete, it has nothing to do with Bud Light. I think beer's disgusting. Everybody drinks it. Ugh.
I agree.
Lots of good beer.
I think you guys just want to grow beer.
Beer has been a social part of America for 10,000, not America, but beer is where people get together, they have a beer and they talk and it's social. Beer is part of our it's part of our
JB's too Italian.
These are the same people that will claim that beer tastes disgusting will be the same ones to actually or to somehow act like they enjoy coffee steak.
Wait, first off, I drink 6 cups a day.
Exactly.
I drink 6
Well,
I don't know what that has to do with the nasty taste of beer. If you guys can make beer taste better, I'm all in. Let's go.
JB, you take your coffee. JB, you take your coffee black, right?
No, well, half and half of one sugar.
There you go. That's the problem, is that you don't put half and half and a little sugar in beer.
That'll try. What's that double agent?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Hey, so double agent, what's your drug of choice?
My drug? I like coffee a lot. And chocolate. But,
Let's ask Agent Holly's question in a different type of way. Agent, do you think that the health movement is pussifying Americans?
Agent, before you go, I want to say, Paige hit me the back channel. Just hear you say pussification, I will donate, I don't know, a couple $100 to your choice, charity of choice. Okay?
that's funny. Look, I think it wouldn't have to be the case, but I think, a lot of the people think it's almost like a narcissism, and it's not dudes who are just living life, getting after it, whatever. I think if you're that, like, look at this guy like Brian Johnson, right? I mean, he's taking all kinds of stuff, but would you want to be in a foxhole with Brian Johnson? Like, the guy is like...
Who's Brian Johnson, bro?
Brian Johnson is this longevity guru, Silicon Valley guy.
And not the lead singer of AC/DC.
He's a guy trying to live forever with supplements, essentially, and all the thing.
He had an exit or two in Silicon. He made $100 million, and then he claims to spend $2 million a year on round-the-clock
in his life and every little sequence in his body and,
Let me translate some to you because I have to listen to you explain it. It's just like a super healthy guy who is creepy because he's super healthy.
Yeah. But basically, he falls apart if the zombies come out, if, like, we get attacked with a nuclear weapon or whatever. I told Brad this. I shit on Brad all the time because he's a bloviating idiot. But I told him, like, when things fall apart, you need Brad. You need a guy like this with balls who just, like, doesn't give a fuck. A real masculine dude.
Asian, you're in the Matrix. You're in the Matrix. I think you said that. You need a guy like Brad, because he's a real masculine dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I listen, the next time you're in New York, bro, I want to take you over to the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm going to give you a good price for it. You tell me you're coming.
Nice. Yeah, no, but the point is, I think people were overly obsessed with the health stuff. It's not like a super masculine thing. It is a bit of a pussification thing. But of course, we should all try to be healthy. Like,
it's the women's responsibility, I think. Like, if you have a kid and you haven't said, like, oh, we're feeding our kids, like, should we do glass bottles, plastic bottles, all that stuff. And I think that's all good. But I think when a man starts getting too into all the stuff, you're like, okay,
It makes you question. Hold on, though. Do you think, and I'm asking seriously, that too many women have masculine energy nowadays?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think I blame women. I think that women have a lot of responsibility they didn't have before.
I think the responsibilities that they've been demanded for centuries.
Yeah, but are they demanding them, or is, like, what I think is that the way markets work, it's really beneficial for, the markets to have a like a house, like two people in the house living.
Two-income household.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Yes, exactly. So, I don't blame women for that. I think that is the nature of things. And I think women should have rights and all that stuff. And,
Pete, I'm going to tell you something. I'm only talking to you, Pete. Nobody else is paying attention to what I'm going to say. I think the downfall of society, and I'm not even bullshit with you, is the crying Karens that live in the far left. I think that's the downfall of society. Just my...
Do you think... I think there's an implication there. You're saying that these crying Karens are so much stronger than these, to use Asian's example, Brads of the world. Like the men are that weak that the crying Karens can take over.
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, we have empowered the crying Karens page to have a voice at the table, and unfortunately their voice is the loudest right now. I'm not saying it's always going to be like that. I'm saying it's like that right now.
Saying like the men are so, like,
there are many crying Karens too. Well, it's not only women too.
They're in a two-income household.
One of them's name is Aaron.
Oh, Aaron's a straight piece of shit. I have no problem with a headshot on that guy.
Yeah, you guys, we definitely don't get along. But, I just think that, like, because I have a lot of positive
You know, he
relationships.
played like the page. And I'm not even looking to engage about that piece of shit. But you know he gets paid by George Soros, right? And I know that for a fact.
Oh,
But back to the crying Karens. They're the downfall of American society, Page. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I'm going to keep it real. Like, you say things, right? And I don't consider you a Karen, because you're all about empowering your partner and letting them be comfortable with masculinity. Men are afraid to be men. Like, let's say I didn't know you, and I came to the room, and I'm like, hey, Pete, you're a beautiful woman. You know what I mean? How many crying Karens would come after me just for saying you're pretty, or Holly's pretty, or America, or a guy? You know, men are uncomfortable being men because of crying Karens. Cancel culture is still alive and well.
Like, I like that the men in my life are very strong, and when sometimes, I maybe go a little too far in certain things that, in a very respectful way, they kind of reel me in. And I think there's a balance between men and women, and that men and women have to, kind of check each other a lot of times, and especially like if they're involved and all that stuff. So I don't know. I think you're giving too much power to women if you think that, they're changing the world in that way.
Respect for Paige. I'll take two women. I'll take you on one side, and I'll take everybody knows Victoria on the other side. That crying Karen has more power than most men understand. Because she can go into a room, and even in real life, she can just walk into a place and say, he said I had a nice ass. Oh my God. Like it's the worst thing in the world. Well, hey, Paige, pretty picture. They'll say thank you, I appreciate it. She's not shooting my shot. If you say that to Victoria, she's going into 5 rooms to say, JB's a lech. He said I was pretty. Oh my God, Paige.
Yeah, but that's maybe like power on this app, and that is total short-term games. But does that work in the long term? Really? Like in the real world, do you think that works?
Yes, I had one of my best friends over today, right? He was running, he works in the investment field. He was at a meeting at his company that he had been at for 20 plus years. And in this meeting, it was only him and maybe 5 other people. And one of the women in the office's name got brought up. He's like, yeah, she got a nice ass. He got fired. The woman wasn't even in the room. He got fired. Cancel culture's real.
That's the other side of corporate America. You can't do that with corporate America anymore.
I only want to work with people that say worse stuff than me.
Well, you're a Boy Scout. Everybody says worse stuff than you.
I agree with that, though. That's so true. I feel like if I went back to corporate America now, I've been out for so long, but if I went back, I think I'd get fired, like, in the first week. Like, I don't think I could behave properly anymore.
What's up, David?
You and me, I couldn't work for corporate America in the 70s in a family business, not my own, because I had too big a mouth, and I loved the people I respected, and I told the ones that were wrong to their face, and so I'm grateful I had a family business to go to, and we could just do our own stupidity. I wasn't here for the early conversation, but maybe what I'm going to say isn't real popular. I think that we are anesthetizing this country with drugs and largely marijuana too. I think it can be as bad when you smoke it for your lungs. We're talking about overdoses with kids with gummies and edibles and edibles. So I think we need to be more careful. People driving elevated, and I understand there's athletes who swear by it, take stress away, and I'm sure it is probably in a way more healthy than alcohol. My drug of choice is tequila and alcohol. I can control it better. I know how it's going to affect me, and of course coffee. I didn't think of that as a drug, but I'm old, and as I age, you have a natural declining. I still work out.
I think you're
healthy. But, sorry, I have a orange mark. You have a natural decline as you age, and I think some of the drug use also accentuates that. And I'm glad that I'm able to function and function well, and for me, it just makes me slow and dumb, and I don't need it.
Well, thank you, Dave. I just had a thought. I know that's very rare. But Pete, are you there, Pete? PB. She's not there. I had a question. I was like, she's saying that her friends are different now because they drink this THC drink.
Just a little bit different is what she said.
Just a little bit different. Thank you for that correction. And I guess they're not as engaging as they used to be. But when you were in college with them, P, I don't know if you can answer the question. Did they not party there? Did they not smoke pot there?
She did say that. She said they did. They were absolutely party girls in college.
So my question is, maybe as we get older, it just affects our bodies differently. I mean, maybe LS knows more, he knows more about it than I do. LS, what do you think?
I think whether we're older or younger, it affects everyone differently. And it's just all about dosage. You just don't need to take that much. And as far as for America, I just wanted to get back there. Indica is the one that will make you sleepy, and the sativa, S-A-T-I-V-A, is the one that's like for daytime. But again, some people, it's flip-flop, so it just affects everyone differently. And just using it very lightly is the best way to do it.
And LS, your suspicions about me 10 years ago were right, because this was before it became legal. I was given 2 cookies, and I was told only have one, and I figured I'd be safe when I got home. I only took a half. So I was told to have one, I took a half, and I was so messed up, I don't even want to tell you. That's the reason why I haven't done an edible in 10 years, but you're right. If I were to do one again, whatever the dosage was recommended, I would start out way lower than what's
recommended. And the biggest mistake people make when they use edibles, whether it's a drink or whether it's a cookie or and the drops or whatever, is that they take like maybe a small dose, and some people they can feel it within like 20 minutes. Other people it takes 2 hours. For me, it takes 2.5 hours to feel an edible. But what happens is they don't feel it. You know what? I'm just gonna eat another one. That's the biggie. That's the oops.
Should you do an edible on an empty stomach?
I always feel yes that you should. And another big mistake is you should never have alcohol with an edible, because THC will have a much of soluble alcohol, and it'll enhance it, and it's not a good situation. Never drink a beer. So.
You know, the answer came out just before. Everybody's different. You know, you can have a person smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day, no cancer. A person smoking a cigarette here and there gets cancer in the lungs. You know, it's not only the drugs you take, it's your DNA, it's your body makeup, your history. It's all different. I'm not going to preach against drugs now. I did my share when I was young, and I thought that was the time to do it. I kind of always knew I would be getting rid of it along the way as I became more responsible. But I'm not telling anybody not to do it. I'm telling, be careful. Don't drive a car if you think you can. Don't say, oh, this one time I could. I care about all of this. I don't know you personally. I probably know JB the best out of all of you guys. But really, just be careful. That's
you from a cliche, JB's the best. I agree with you.
Yeah, I said I think I know you the best out of well, I know America too, we spoke before. But I don't want anybody getting hurt or anything. Be careful. That's what I'm saying. Be careful. And I'll see you guys again in America. Great seeing you again. And I'm gonna end my night by saying I learned something tonight. I think black people can get sunburned. That's about it. Have a good night, everybody. Great speaking to you. And Steve, nice meeting you.
The pleasure's mine. We've spoken before.
Yeah, I know.
Good night, Jules.
Good night, guys.
So this guy's the Celtic Debates Open Discussion. Potheads United. Show's been sponsored by Apple Steve. Cash had me $6. I opened it with contact. So I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna leave the room with Steve. You got some great people in there, Steve.
I sure do. Thank you. Because of you.
And by the way, guys, Steve has a room tomorrow. What time, Steve?
It's from 7 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah.
All right, listen, Steve, I'm going to be leaving. So you got 4 beautiful women as mods.
I love it.
It's like Charlie's Angels and your Bosley.
I love it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, JB. Thanks for
that. Hello, Angels. Yeah, guys, just as far as I'm concerned, just go pop it.
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
While I have you, because it's been a lot
rarer than I would like. You know, you're my favorite uncle, and I love all your shows. Your labor show, your Ask the Atheist, and
just tomorrow morning, and Ask Uncle Steve, which was this morning.
Ask Uncle Steve. So I'm a big fan of Uncle Steve, but I've had some access problems getting in your room lately, and unfortunately I have to name names.
Well, that's okay. Tell me, who is blocking you? It's
you
not
have
me.
a co-mod named Dr. James.
Dr. James.
Dr. James really has a you-know-what for me, and I don't know what to say, but whenever you mod him, that means you are blocking me. So I just want you to know that. And
I will have a talk with him. He mods more people. Pardon me, he blocks more people than any of my mods. I apologize for that.
Well, it's okay.
He's the most sensitive mod. Yes.
But anyway, I'm a big fan.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Somebody asked me earlier, I think, when I said I'm allergic to cocaine, and they probably didn't believe me. I'm actually allergic to anything that I snort because I still have my tonsils in, believe it or not. And if I snort anything, my throat closes up, my tonsils swell, and I start breathing funny. Now, again, I haven't done coke in like 25, 30 years, but if I needed to do some stuff all day and I didn't want to procrastinate, if somebody offered me a line or two of coke, I could put it in coffee and then drink it, and then the high would probably be great, but I haven't done coke in like 25, 30 years.
Never liked it. By the way, I did smoke a joint with Cheech on top of Desert Roof at his Mountain house back in the 70s.
It was about 10 years ago. I was offered some Adderall. I had half an Adderall pill. I spent the entire day cleaning my house. That's true.
That's a terrible side effect, isn't it?
Uncle Steve, I'm curious, as someone who's used both Adderall and cocaine, like, how do you compare those two? Like, do you think, because anyway, I have the contention that Adderall is an incredibly strong drug, and that the fact that they give it to kids is shocking.
Well, of course, the medical efficacy for Adderall is that it has the opposite effect on kids that are ADHD. It's a combination of two different types of speed drugs, and the drugs themselves make you hyperactive, but because it's a time-release thing, it has medically it has the opposite effect of ADHD or whatever. It slows them down. The problem is that a lot of, shall we say, high schoolers and college kids that are on Adderall are not using it regularly with a medical professional's consultation. I'm very lucky because I never became addicted to any type of pills or substances like that. I still do alcohol, I still do pot, but I was never into pills. So I think too many kids are prescribed Adderall. I think too many kids are. Just let me say, I think too many kids are on prescription drugs. I'll just leave it there.
Were you around for the Quaalude revolution?
714 lemons and roar, baby.
There you go. That was probably one of the greatest highs. And let me just finish with this. It was actually classified as a hypnotic.
Oh, I thought it was classified as a muscle relaxer.
I believe it was
you can check me on that. You can check me on that.
That's as I recall it, and I was involved at the time.
But at the time, if I wanted to get laid, I'd find a way to take a chick out on a date and have her swallow a Quaalude or whatever.
Every Friday night, Saturday night at the Rainbow on Sunset Strip. Eating Quaalude with a Mexican coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Agent, I too have a big issue with Adderall. I think it's so detrimental, especially long-term use combined with alcohol horrible. I think it leads to violent tendencies. I think there's so much more study that needs to be done with that. I've had way worse hangovers from taking Adderall than I have with cocaine. I just think it's horrible. And now the good news is, I don't think they're prescribing Adderall as much to children. There's another drug that I forget the name, but I don't think it's as potent or has maybe doesn't have as bad side effects. I don't know. But I think they're kind of getting away from Adderall with the kids.
I'm glad to hear that.
You don't have to be a street rocket scientist to know that a depressant and a stimulant probably shouldn't go together. What's the point of doing that? So if you're drinking alcohol and taking Adderall, it just kind of, it's almost funny, to be honest, if it wasn't sad.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, another creepy part about the Adderall thing, if you look at it, and I know I suck at science, so don't quiz me on this, but Adderall and meth have one little difference. There's one little tiny makeup that's different. They're so similar. And you know what? I had a best friend. We're no longer friends. But she was addicted to Adderall since she was a child, and also an alcoholic. And I will tell you, when I look at meth heads, it kind of reminds me of her. The way that they move so fast, the way they're constantly having to do things, it actually reminds me of her.
And one of the side effects of the regular Adderall use is cardiomyopathy. You have to be really careful. I know someone very close to me whose heart now is totally fucked up. Now, I think Adderall is a contributing factor. What he told me was he gave the doctor a complete honest history, and the doctor basically said, well, I don't know what caused it. I have to think that Adderall was a contributing factor. Of course, when you're doing meth or whatever, you get real skinny and your teeth fall out and shit like that. But even Adderall under a doctor's prescription, it can blow your heart apart.
Well, and also, a true Adderall addict will never, they'll never blame the Adderall for anything. They'll use every other excuse and every other substance that they take. The Adderall, and also I think, Steve, to their defense, part of that is because it's so accepted, right? Adderall is accepted, so that can't be the culprit.
Right, and also, it was prescribed by my doctor.
Right,
so,
right.
Yes, yeah.
I wonder, they're so lacking in studies with Adderall. I don't know why, but I wonder what the effects are on the babies. There's gotta be more. I know that the mothers who are on Adderall due to have smaller weight babies, because usually, I think when you're on Adderall, you have to see a high-risk doctor, specialist, or whatever to monitor. But I wonder if there's some link between that and other developmental issues too. I don't know.
Anytime expectant mothers, either during the pregnancy or just before the pregnancy, are on any type of regular drugs, you have to be very careful. Even smoking, documented that smoking tobacco during pregnancy contributes to a lower weight baby. Although my ex-wife, she smoked all the way through her pregnancy, and my daughter came out 8.5 ounces. So I think the average is 7.
8 pounds.
I'm sorry. I mean 8 pounds, 5 ounces, yes, and she smoked. She didn't drink during the pregnancy, but she did smoke.
Well, drinking, actually, so you said she didn't drink. I think that the whole drinking while pregnant is actually way inflated too, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's, if you don't, obviously not to an excess, but I don't think there's really great studies on I don't know, they treat pregnant women like children. It really actually kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, happens, but I'm not aware of a test or testing while a woman was pregnant to have 1 glass of wine a day. Not that I would advocate 1 glass of beer. Clearly we know that excessive alcohol abuse, that's going to lead to a lot of problems during pregnancy.
Right. I think women, if we listen to our bodies tell us. Like, when I had some alcohol, I was pregnant, but your body tells you real quick, you know, you might get really bad heartburn. And it's like, okay, I can't have any. Or, you know, you just feel it. You just think, okay, that was good for me. You know, like, I mean, your body just knows.
I think women are more in tune with their bodies than men.
Yeah. And we're not given that credit. We're just told, you know, we're shamed if you, and then, like, I smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke much anymore, but, like, I used to smoke cigarettes regularly. And when I got pregnant, you know, my body instantly, like, rejected the cigarette. Before I knew I was pregnant, you know, I was like, ew. Like, I started, like, you know, it started to taste weird. And I was like, what's wrong with this pack of cigarettes? Like, this is wrong, you know? And you get real sick, and I couldn't even stand the smell of the cigarettes. And so it's like, it's cool. Like, your body's, like, telling you something to protect the baby.
Which is probably why pregnant women cannot, or generally don't have 2 large meals a day, like breakfast and dinner. They have 5 very small a day. Their body is telling them, don't do that.
Yeah, like, there's way worse things than having a little bit of alcohol when you're pregnant. Like, I mean, is it listeria that kills the baby? I always forget. There's 2 different things that you can get. I think it's listeria. So it's like, you know, what's the biggest listeria outbreak? Like, lettuce? I don't know. It's like, do we get shamed? You know, you're gonna, you know, shame a woman who's pregnant for eating lettuce or for eating, you know, a cold cut. Like, but God forbid she have a glass of wine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, welcome to Healthy Debates. Jamie opened up this room about an hour and a half ago, or Jamie and I did. Just whatever. So, you know, cash in your pink tickets, come on stage, and you can talk about anything you want. It doesn't have to be about potheads or drugs. Talk about anything you want. Tomorrow morning on Ask the Atheist, I will be talking about the Scopes trial, which is 100 years old. For those of you who are not familiar with it, that's a Supreme Court case in 1925, where John T. Scopes was teaching evolution, and it was against the law to teach evolution. Years ago, imagine that.
So this is an interesting thing about teaching evolution. Physicians, to my knowledge, still are not required to take a course in evolution. You should, as pre-med students, but they don't.
Are you sure about that, Dr. Jordan?
When I was pre-med, say pre-health, and taught pre-med students, they didn't have to take it, but maybe they may now. I mean, it's kind of hard because they take a molecular genetics class and they don't have a background in evolution. Like understanding post-pathogen coevolution is kind of an important concept, particularly in the infectious disease world. So they really should have it, but more so for a genetics, a healthier genetics background.
If anybody within the sound of my voice does not believe in evolution, the best evidence I can give you in evolution is your own body. Because all of our bodies contain the coccyx bone, which are 3 vertebrae right below the lumbar spine. And this, according to medical professionals, is what's left over of a couple us men didn't have breast milk millions of years ago, did we? We didn't have actually
Correct.
breast.
I was just joking.
Yeah.
I mean, you were talking
Yeah.
about evolution. I was just really thinking of any vestigial.
Yeah. So, LS, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I don't think there's been any documented evidence whatsoever of CBD, that's the cannabinoid in marijuana, being dangerous or unhealthy. Has there been?
No, actually, it's very healthy, and it's good by itself, but it actually works better with a little THC and some other cannabinoids with it. But yeah, CBD is non-psychoactive. It is relaxing on its own, and that will come. Actually, you know, it's great for animals and dogs. I know people that with very old dogs
Yes.
are using CBD, and it's quite amazing. It's amazing to see it in front of your own eye.
And I think as time goes on, we're going to see more drugs or more natural health remedies infused with CBD because it is non-psychoactive and we still do not know the complete beneficial effects. It has beneficial effects for a lot of things.
Absolutely. But we wouldn't have legal recreational cannabis right now if it wasn't that California approved in 1996 that it was a real medicine, and it was helping people, and it was curing people of certain things in certain ways. So, and that's when it started. It all started in San Francisco, that they proved that it was medicinal value to this. And that was, there's all kinds of things.
Over half of the states have legalized marijuana either recreationally or medicinally, and also the House of Representatives, was it 2 years ago, I think, they passed a bill to legalize it federally, although the Senate would not vote.
Right. And do you know that in Washington, D.C., it's legal for recreation? Everybody, just saying, Washington, D.C.
And I can guarantee you all that the reason why it's not completely legal is because of the alcohol industry.
100%.
The alcohol industry has a huge financial incentive not to legalize pot, because once they do, they know that their profits are going down.
And not only the alcohol industry, but the psychiatric industry hates cannabis. And actually, again, cannabis can rebuild brain cells. It's called neurogenesis. It's out there. I'm sure it's out there. San Fernando Valley there.
Well, you've mentioned that on my show. I don't think that's been proven yet. I think that's just a theory, or am I mistaken?
You're probably mistaken. Go to go to PubMed, MED. There's all kinds of. There's so many studies. They've been hiding this for years. There's studies that go. It's not brand new. Again, a Harvard study. Said it improves lung function and lung volume. It doesn't cost.
Yeah, but we're talking about rebuilding brain cells, because all of us were raised that once brain cells die, they cannot be regrown.
It's helped Alzheimer's patients. And again, I said it earlier, it's going to be, you'll see. Again, I'm 75, I may not be here in 20 years, but I'm going, you guys will think back here. So, Steve, did I tell you I'm a Santa Monica College alumni?
I think you did.
Okay.
Well, of course, I'm a huge fan of KCRW and PU.
I took broadcasting classes at that station. At KCRW there, and I'm a huge fan of Harry Shearer, who's been using that station. I don't think he does it for a year, for years with his show. You know who that is, Harry Shearer?
No, I do not.
Oh my goodness, Google him. He's one of the
he's Facebook, and he's an unbelievable comedian, and he's been doing a show every Sunday morning called The Show for 40-something years.
Oh, wow.
Be better, baby.
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the hour. Welcome everybody to Healthy Debates. You can cash in your pink ticket, raise your hand, and come on up and talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about potheads, you know. Well, if nobody objects, I'm going to play one song, and then if nobody wants to talk after the song, I'm going to close down the room. And for those of you that have never heard of Cab Calloway, let's smoke some reefer.
get beyond the worry. Go away, go away, worry. Oh, blow must wake up and work in the morning. Must get by the brooding at night. You can't change this world you were born in, but not declare. You can be walking on air. You hear the angels sing away, helping you to fling away your worry and your trouble. I
Smoking Reefers by the Immortal Cab Calloway. Dr. Jordan, you want to talk? Are we good? Dr. Jordan? He's okay. LS, you want to talk, or should we just shut this sucker down?
No, I'll say I'm probably the only one other person in the room that's heard of Cat Cat. There's actually a pond named after him in my alma mater boarding school in Delaware.
Now that one I did not know.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been around and I got lots of stories. But thanks for holding the room tonight. It cost you $6. I think
That's right.
got your money's worth. And
I got my money's worth, that's for sure. What about you, Dr. Jordan? You good? I saw you a minute ago, Dr. Jordan. Yeah, okay. You're in the Matrix. You're in the Matrix. I think you said you're good, yes. Okay, well, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m. with Ask the Atheist. The link is at the top, so hope to see you all there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend if I don't see you, as the old saying goes. Be careful on the clubhouse streets. This room will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, everybody.
For real.
But your boy KP, boy, that nigga was love. I ain't gonna lie, that nigga was love. Oh, you be defending the shit out of you because of these females out. Nah, that's when Kendra was on here. You can go back to the replays and shit. Oh, my mommy did. He coming off a type of up and dead. And she did what she supposed to do. What a Memphis bitch do. I ain't gonna even start. Yeah. If you ain't used to them motherfuckers, you ain't gonna talk too much. Yeah, what you be telling these bitches though? Cause this shit be crazy. That bitch Kendra was trying to fuck with you for real though. I think that nigga gave was on that though. He wasn't trying to let that go. Shorty was fucking with you. I know she did.
That's like motherfucking big ex-wife just called me, told me some crazy shit. But she was talking about crazy shit, but she was talking like, you bad
That's the very news.
Nah, nigga, you need to go get your kids, motherfucker, sit the fuck up, nigga. Tell her break that motherfucking shit she got going on, cause that's the only one that's gonna ride for you. The rest of the motherfuckers ain't shit. Nigga, she gon' tell the truth, nigga. The other hoes just gonna say what they did, what they been through. Fuck that money, man. Go get that woman, man. Alright, take the room at the top, y'all. Take the room at the top, y'all. Take the room at the top, y'all. Stand, get up there.
Hey, y'all, go over to the other room. Somebody,
Yeah, look, yeah, you gonna move.
Hey, Mom, don't tell me what to do, Mom. Sorry.